Welcome to FREKS Knows Best. It's time to ingest, and I have my special guest. Yeah, that's me. I'm rhyming. Bless. He goes by the name of Tommy, aka Kizzy Black in the house. What you saying, bro?
I'm all good. Thank you for having me on your podcast. I'm so excited. And mate, it's been a while. It has been a while, hasn't it?
Bro, how long has it been?
Crikey. I mean, I've been in Eastern Europe for like the last 3.5 years, 4 years. So a couple of years before that, maybe 5 years, I reckon.
5 years. So we take that back to 2019, if my math's correct.
That is a long time.
Man, bro.
A long time.
That's too long for us, especially with, which we're going to share with everyone who's listening, especially with the timeline we have shared, with the journeys, the accomplishments.
History,
we definitely do, man. And I can't wait to share that with everyone. So my first question with you is, first of all, how you doing? How's your new year been? How is Estonia? How is the crew? How is the squad?
That's a lot of questions in one question. Right.
In one. But you can skim it. You can skim it. You don't need to go deep, but yeah.
Right. If I had to say, keeping it short and sweet, it's amazing. It's amazing. Obviously, you mentioned I'm in Estonia now. I have been here for a couple of years. And it's been a game changer for me. I feel London just dragged me down. I was burnt out. I definitely was not giving my best to anybody, especially not my kids. And that was really affecting me. So, we got out of London, got out of England. I'm here in Estonia now, and I'm in the countryside. I've got time with my family. I'm not stressed out. My mental health is peak. My kids are happy. Wife is happy. My what's it called? What do you call it? My crew, my animal crew are all
Your
good.
Squad.
And I'm doing things that I love, mate. I'm doing things that I love again. Still playing a bit of music, but more DJ sides, playing at parties now, which is amazing. And hosting events here and in Latvia. So man, life is good. I definitely made the right choice.
My question, because us brothers always like to know, what's the weather like out there? And have you adapted to it?
Yeah, actually, a lot easier than I thought.
Because that's one thing I thought you might have been nervous about at the beginning. It was like, okay, how am I going to handle it? Because I see that place has some serious amount of snow.
Yeah. Like we're minus. Today's quite warm actually. We're minus 12, minus 12 degrees. Quite warm, but we have minus 25, minus 27. With wind sort of speed, it's minus 30, 35.
What?
It's cold, bro.
No way.
But mate, I've adapted so well. Obviously, I've been learning the language as well, so I'm speaking more and more Estonian now, which is great. Kids are all fluent. They're amazing.
Wow.
But I think the biggest thing about here is if you try and you show people that you're trying to learn the language and respect the culture, they are really, really warm. They're really warm. And I talk to everyone. Everyone knows me out here. I mean, I'm one black person in in probably the 15, 20 miles. I'm the only one here. So
that's
everyone knows me.
Yeah. Because that was the other bit, which I thought you might be a little bit concerned. I know families and everyone always worry about that when you go abroad.
Yeah.
Especially when you are absolutely the minority. So how has that all been with you being around there?
You know what? They've been amazing, so welcoming.
Yeah.
When I first got here, I was gifted a bike for my birthday. And I was originally living in a village 10 kilometers down the road. And it was about maybe 60 to 80 people that lived in this village. And every morning I was getting up on the bike and going for a cycle. I see people going to work and I'd be waving at them, Tere. So I used to have this name, Tere. And you'd see their faces as I was driving past, I was there cycling around. Oh my God, good morning. And, at first it was just what the fuck is this? There's a black dude riding a bike around the village saying hello, good morning. Estonian people don't really say good morning. And after like a week, everyone was like, yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
yeah, so I just started to like introduce myself like that, and
Yeah.
it's been wicked good, man. It's been really cool, really
Because
cool.
obviously you got the boys as well, so that as a parent, that must be also the bit you was aware of. But it's great that you're saying that they've managed to like settle in,
Yeah.
and they're now speaking the Estonian language, which is
Oh,
the mother's tongue,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
fluently. Amazing.
Yeah, so like, the youngest Sonny, he was fluent within 3 months because here they don't go to, they're still in, he was 5 years old and they do like
Right.
kindergarten until they're 7. So he had 2 years in
Mhm.
kindergarten. But,
Right.
we got him in the summer and there's like a summer, it's open in the summertime for parents that work,
Mhm.
they've got young kids. And they said, oh, let him come in and just, he can come and play and meet people. And
Mhm.
he went in there and literally he was like speaking it so quickly because all they do is play all day. And like,
Yeah.
you learn through play, right? So they
Yeah.
smashed it and both of them are killing it, man. Like,
I see
uh,
your posts. I see your post socials, and obviously, little man's on the dirt bike, which I see
yeah,
like
yeah,
loving
yeah,
life, And I've got
that's
a
it.
mini Mizzy Kizzy, loving it well, with the music DJing. I was just like,
Yeah,
for one moment, I was like, what is going on here? But I shouldn't be surprised. It
honestly.
is your siblings
Yeah, do you know what? They
at
they do
DNA.
amazing. Like they DJ in music school. They do piano and
Wow,
guitar, and they do
wow,
singing competitions, which they love.
yeah,
But also, like Estonia's mad. Like there's all within 40 minutes driving. I mean,
hmm,
one of them's like 10, 15 minutes. There's like all these like downhill ski slopes and stuff like this where
right,
they can ski. So they've been
yeah,
doing like, mountain skiing and stuff. And these resorts are amazing. Like they're
wow,
really cool. So,
yeah, yeah,
and then there's like the lakes and stuff. So everyone swims outside in the lakes. And
yeah.
honestly, mate, it's a different life. You need to come over and just like come for a
Do you know
weekend.
what?
I
It's
take you down to
definitely, it's
this,
definitely.
there's like a real sauna culture and stuff. So the families get together at the weekend and they go and, saunas, steam rooms.
Yeah, yeah.
It's magical. It's
No, you know what?
magical. Yeah.
It's definitely because I think the whole travel thing, like, it was picked up again last year, but obviously
Yeah.
during COVID, it was a difficult time for traveling. That was a weird time. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting out and about a lot more this year, especially with the gigs internationally as well. But I'll
Where are you
definitely
playing?
first place is south of France in March. And then the other
Nice.
place is Cyprus in May. And like one's I think it's a 40th birthday or 50th birthday, and the other one's a wedding. So it's gonna be a lot
Amazing.
of fun, man. And look, I love it. Like you know my story, Antigua, all that stuff. I got away. Do you know what I mean? I got away and yeah, prematurely come back, but it's all good because everything happens for a reason. But
Does.
I definitely had that bug for being abroad, man. And it's the same as you. You know when you step out and you just kind of like, um, why have I not seen this earlier? When you find something, and okay, we're from the same area, so we knew when we grew up in that area. All we knew was that, right? And
Yeah.
then we move out, you step out, and you're like, oh, okay, now we got this. And then you come back to it. And I'm not sure how many times you visited the UK, but it's really strange because I moved down to Brighton. And every time I keep going back up to London and that to do the gigs, I stay at my mum's, but it's that area, I've just outgrown it. I just don't
Yeah.
feel like I fit there no more because I've just moved on. I think it's just spiritually, I've just moved on. And I think that's the same with yourself. And it happened with me when I was in Antigua. I just moved on. And I think I've
I was
always tried
gonna
to catch
say
it when
that.
coming back. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think when you went to Antigua, that was one of the best things, like for you. And
Yeah.
watching you grow from that experience was so nice for me to see it because you came back and you had this sort of aura of enlightenment, and it was just like you had always been quite a spiritual person, but like your energy was completely different. And I remember thinking, that's what it's about, that, I always say to like my younger brothers and stuff, there's more to life than England, or there's more to life than Watford, Harrow,
Yes.
London. And I
Yes.
think when you're in London, you're conditioned to believe that it's the best place in the world. And, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. And, what I realized is, and realized very soon, like coming out
Mm.
here, you need very little to be happy, very little to be happy. And when I come back to London, I can feel that hardship. I can feel
Yeah.
it. You know, I'll land there, maybe Stansted. I'll come through London to sort of get to Watford to visit family, and I just see people on the train, literally just like they're just hanging on. It's like they are hanging on,
That's a
and
very good point.
you can see that pain in their faces, and I'm just like, wow. Like, I feel liberated being out here, man. I feel liberated.
Yeah, I can one thing second that. So I totally agree with what you're saying.
2,000 years later.
Okay, so far.
Okay, so these work.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So far, so good. Yeah, sip on that beer. So,
What else?
I think people, whoever's listening right now, you're probably thinking, the sound's different. Do you know what I mean? We've had a bit of technical difficulties. Welcome to the world. Look, come on. The man lives in Estonia. I'm here in Brighton. I mean, come on. We've advanced, man. We've advanced with technology to even be able to do this at such a distance. So, you ever heard of a guy called Wim Hof?
Oh,
Bro.
mate, love Wim Hof. Love Wim Hof. And you know, as soon as the lakes freeze over here, we're doing the saunas, we're doing the ice holes out here. Ice holes, not, you know, ice holes. And, you know, never ever thought in my life would you see like a brother, a black man, jumping into an icy lake. But my God, it's phenomenal. The feeling, it's just like, what's the word? It's euphoric. When you go in, there's the initial pain. It feels like you've got like laser needles sticking in your skin and your body goes into shock, trying to breathe. And you can't breathe. You have to sort of control it and stuff. And when you come out, oh my good Lord, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Well, look, man, I just don't see myself surviving out there. I'll tell you why. I decided to try to go for a swim in the Brighton Sea, right? And yeah, I felt it was a warm day. It was one of the warmest days. I thought the sea's gonna be nice, it's warm. And I walked down the beach on my own because I've been psyching myself up to do this, right? I thought, I'm going to do it today. I feel good today, right? I'm going to do it, right? And I got walking down there and you can see there's a couple other heads on the beach, you know, looking left and right. They're clocking me because they feel, oh, is he going to do it? And I'm like, yeah. And I just kind of took the clothes off quick and I walked in like, yeah, come on. And I'm telling you, bro, once I felt that sea, and how cold it was, I was scared. I'm telling you, I've never been so scared in my life of the shocking feeling of that cold. Like, it was painful. Yeah. It was so painful. When you're telling me like you get the needles effect, it was pretty much what I was feeling. Yeah. But I had to maintain the macho-ness. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can handle it.
Because people were watching.
Everyone there.
People were watching.
Right.
Yeah.
I've done a couple of little splashes like that. I didn't go under. I just done a couple of little ooh, and I just turned around like, yeah, walked out like, yeah, that was good. Yeah, they knew. They're like, newbie. We got a tourist guy here. He's a newbie. So, oh mate, yeah, trust me. I rate Wim Hof. I believe in everything he does. I think I followed a lot of his documentaries, his podcasts, and so I think we'll just carry on from where I left off from saying no regrets because you got a beautiful family and carry on from there, brother. Just because there's a bit probably missed out. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, go on.
Yeah. So I mean, definitely no regrets. Like I said, I think parenting is the most rock and roll thing that I have ever done. You know, every day it's like there's a buzz somewhere, whether it's like, you know, my kids do something new or they show me something like in their school or they do a performance or just my daughter doing something like she's singing, dancing, she's, you know,
beautiful.
And I did think it took me a while to sort of get used to the fact that I was not a musician anymore, you know, that I wasn't performing, that I wasn't gigging and stuff like that. And, you know, I made peace with it. It took me a while, but I did make peace with it. And I am really, really happy. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was the end of it. But it turns out that it's not because very randomly, I'm here in Estonia and my son, I told you, we were talking off air. I said that my son wanted to learn to play decks, and he got some decks for Christmas, and you know, he kind of has gone off it again now. Now he's going to be a YouTuber, but the decks are here, and I've been mucking around with them. And randomly, someone asked me, "Will I come and do a party for them?" Like they were doing an event in like one of the halls around here. Will I come and play? And I was like, "I'm not a DJ. I'm not a DJ. I don't know how to DJ." And I'm like, "No, don't worry about it. Everyone's gonna be shit faced. They're gonna be drunk. Just come and play songs, play tunes." And I went down and I played, and it was a fucking riot. These people were mad for it, you know, and I got that same buzz from like playing a gig with a guitar or singing that I got there, you know. It was just seeing everyone dancing, everyone vibing, and I was probably just in the moment like, come on. And I played this gig, and then I got asked to play another one and another one and another one, and just, you know, it got to the point now where I've actually started to I've bought a DJ lesson, like online DJ lesson, to sort of learn how the stuff works and how to actually mix. And you know, the other day there was like a neon rave. I know some event organisers that live around here, and they bought this old Soviet warehouse, like an aircraft carrier, and they've converted it into a gig venue.
Right.
And they do these proper mad events, and like one of the guys like, "Come and play." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm not a DJ. I don't care, mate. Just come and fucking play some garage." Yeah. And I went down, and they've got like this Red Bull stage, like a car, like a caravan, if you like, Red Bull caravan. Right. And I'm there playing garage music and stuff, but, you know, doing really shit mixes and whatnot, but just doing it, and just people having it. And like Noep was there, you know, Noep. He's a DJ, he's an Estonian DJ, Noep.
Oh, right. No, okay.
Right.
No.
He's there, and I'm like, you know, high-fiving him and stuff, and, you know, he played a steady headline. And it's just like, all of a sudden, I thought I was not performing anymore, but here I am in Estonia, in the arsehole of nowhere, I'm in the countryside, and all these people that are doing parties like, come and fucking play. And it's just like, and I'm being paid for them as well. Like, they, you know, so something that is just completely unexpected. It's just come up from nowhere, and all of a sudden now I'm a DJ in Estonia, and it's crazy.
Well, bro,
do you know what I mean,
bro? It's this. Don't you feel like, look, we're getting to that age? Well, we're getting older, and you're still trying to work out, like, how am I here? How am I managed to get to this position? I never thought I'll be ever like a podcaster, right? Yeah. Ever. I love listening to them, but I never thought. But just one day, it just felt like it just made sense. And it goes back, if I go back to even, like, I didn't even know I was going to be a promoter for a boat party. And you remember those boat parties, right? Under one roof, bro.
The messy crew.
Messy crew. Shout out to the messy crew. And man,
oh my
to even
God.
make it to my 30s, I'm telling you, man, I'm just thank you out there, because that place, I mean, that whole period, should I say, was unplanned again. So I'm just, and all I'm saying is, like, on the spiritual one, is that we've got this whole, like, path already unfolded, and we're just walking it at the moment. And that's where it goes with experiences and moments, because I think it's really important that we've got to share those moments, but at the same time, those moments are something that could be locked down as a memory. But life, because it keeps moving, you just have to keep going with the flow. And I feel like your flow is taking you to Estonia. My flow, it took me to Antigua, brought me back down to Brighton, which I love this place, bro. Yeah, like, I'm telling you, this is my home. Like, community, everything about it. And it's so nice to hear you, my friends, like Lisa's moved away. She's loving her life. Do you know what I mean? Ollie's moved down to Bournemouth. He's loving life. Gav's moved out. Just everyone who's moved out and just kind of gone down their path, everyone's doing it. Like, that was just a period. And I think sometimes we try to hold on to it as if, because it was magical. I hate to use that. Is that the right word? Yeah, it was magical because we created so many moments, not just for ourselves, but for so many other people, bro. And that's where I want to go back, right? Because I want to, for the listeners and everyone who's watching, I just want to, he touched on a few things which we need to go back on. So just as I'm going to rewind it back. Now we're going back, way back. back into time. Let's start with, do you remember the first project we done together, the name of it?
Wax Project.
Ding!
Yes.
Correct.
I remember because I used to call you Ruby Wax.
There we go, brother. Thank you. I'm thinking like I was explaining that in another podcast, and I was hoping I got that right, and it was spot on because it was you. Because I said, that was the first project. It was called the Wax Project. Now, would you like to? How can you remember? So we had Rich, the bitch, and he was the drummer. Right?
Yeah.
Who else did we? We had Ian.
Bass.
Bass. Now there was me on the machine, keys in this machine. Like I don't know what it was like a sampler machine or something like that.
Like
but
a
I had
chaos
the keyboard.
pad, no? Like
a
chaos pad.
Yeah, like a chaos pad or something like that. Yeah, where you could do all mad sounds. And we had another keyboard player, did we? Who I used to work with.
What was his name?
Dude, I'm gonna really embarrass myself if he's watching this. Because he was in the band and I can't remember his name. But I used to work with him when I was working for KPMG. He worked downstairs.
He was lovely.
Yeah.
He was lovely, wasn't he?
He was a
really cool guy.
But he was one of those really quiet.
Oh my God.
He was really quiet. Really surprised me that he played keyboard. Because when he told me that, I was like, all right, bring it down. And I'm trying to remember his name. But yeah, mate. We had some vibes. And I remember one track. With your, oh man, you done so much in the track. Do you remember Tornado? BPM. And then when it breaks down, dun, you just go, dun, 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 dun. That's your bit. That's it, bro. That was your one moment. I loved it.
God bless the wah pedal. God bless the wah pedal.
And I think, look, we met because let me give you a little background, people. So me and Tommy met when I was working at a shop called Moist, and we just got on straight away. And then I heard he played the guitar, and I was like straight away like, yo, we should try to put a little project together. And we did. We kind of got this. I think, did you introduce me to Ian? Because I'm trying to remember.
I'm not sure.
Because somebody introduced me to Ian. And I was trying to find the link there. I was trying to remember because just for everyone to know, Ian was the bass player.
Because I knew them from like Hemel Apsley way.
Yeah,
I was in Hemel Apsley then.
So you probably spoke to somebody, said and somebody recommended because Ian come down. And
he was amazing, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's like
he's an amazing bass player.
Amazing bass player, left-handed bass player
as
well. Yeah. So, but he just had the musical brain for what we like for creating the song. Knowing he knew when to come in. Like we've had some drummers, I've had some drummers in back in the days, and some people which they needed some guidance. But Ian just knew what he was doing. You could just tell him once, and you can relax because he's got his part down, and he's well into it as well. But so that was the Wax Project. And then we went on. And then you went on to Kizzy Black, right? Was that the right?
Yeah.
After Wax Project.
I went Kizzy Black and Dirty Angels off the back of that. Yeah.
Yep. And just to let everyone know, these guys, man, it was I'm not supposed to rub the salt in the wounds, bro, but you guys were awesome, man. There was a vibe. Just even when you look at the pictures, like of how you guys looked, it's like you look like you're like a proper band. And I was just, man, it was like, let's see these guys. Let's see how far they can go and all that. But just like myself, when you're in bands, things change. It's sad. You want to hold on to them, but it is life.
Yeah.
I did talk about it in another podcast, like how deep it was. And I felt from what you were saying before, like how deep it was when you got something, you were so close, but different path unfolds itself, and you carry on walking along that way. And that's the thing with the risk. I'm thinking, want to share this with everyone. It's like I love it, sharing a moment with a band, doing the whole thing, but there is a risk because it just takes one entity in the band to make a different decision, different mood, different path, and it does unbalance the rest.
Yeah.
But that's why with anybody who's going to be going into a band who wants to try it, just make the most out of it at that moment. Enjoy every moment then, because like anybody, you have to be realistic. Like some people are going to change, and some people might make some decisions. So just enjoy the moment. That's my advice from experience. And I've done a lot of little projects, and I've enjoyed them. There's no regrets, just like yourself. And yeah, I recommend. So, my brother. So after Kizzy Black, how did we get to that place where you came up to me and said, Rubes, I want to do an EP? And all I said to you was, I've got a studio. You got your guitar. I can record you. But I've never done something like this before. Would you like to explain to everyone, how did this start? What brought you into, well, what gave you the idea like that's what you wanted to do next for your projects?
Do you know what, actually, that's a really good question, because although, you know, we sort of said about how I was upset that Kizzy Black and the Dirty Angels ended, actually, now you mention it, and now I sort of really do think back on it, there was growth and evolution, and where I was going,
right,
I think it wasn't in fitting with what I was doing originally with the band. Before it was just completely punk, it was rock, and it was raw. But, you know, you and I, we were hanging out a bit, and, you know, you were taking me to some shady places that a good holy man like myself should never have been going to.
He was a church boy until he met me. He was a church boy. Oh, I'm so bad. I'm so bad.
The corrupter. But, but, you know, like, started like hearing some of this electronic dance music, the EDMs and stuff, and you know, started like, you know, playing guitar riffs and looping these guitar riffs and stuff on my guitar, and thinking, my drummer can't drum as fast as I need for this song, and I had all these ideas in my head. And actually, I went to, I dreamt about What Would Your Mother Say, the riff for What Would Your Mother Say. I dreamt it. I dreamt it. I woke up in the morning. I woke up just like, and I remember reaching for my guitar, and I had this melody in my head. And I was like, and I just started writing, and it was like stupid o'clock in the morning, but this whole thing came about. And then I was like, that's where I want to go.
Yeah.
And I presented it to the band, and they were like, wicked, loved the riff, and we put it together, and we were playing it live. But it wasn't right. It was good, but it was not how I could hear it. And then I knew your production skills and what you were doing. You were producing some wicked stuff, and I was like, I need Ruben to do it, because, you know, I'd already known that you know, when we'd worked together on Wax Project, the BPMs that you did with Tornado and stuff like that, I was like, that's the power, that's the energy that I need, and I can't get that with a live band. I need something else, whether it be like keys, samples, what I need it. And, you know, I'd been in the wilderness for a while, actually, but I had that song in my head, and I was like, it needs to see the light of day properly. And that's when, you know, I just found out I was having a baby as well.
Right.
And I think that was when I was like, you know, I don't know if it was like a last bite of the cherry, or a realization that I needed to put something out there that was just 100% me, and how I envisioned it without compromise. And that's when I sort of came to you and I said, look, I've got these ideas, and I think that you can make life. I love what you do. We have proven history of like working well together. We've got a good vibe, and we got in the studio, and literally it was just like, I think the songs kind of wrote themselves. I mean, that's probably not doing justice to the work you put in, because obviously I came with guitar riff and melody and whatnot, but the way you built these tracks up, the way you made, and like, oh mate, I hope you still got them, so I'd love to hear them again.
I
man,
do.
because I'll
send them straight. As soon as we finish, I'll send them straight across. I've got them.
Oh mate, put a little link into your video as well, man. Let the people hear it, because
all right, no problem.
The energy that you know, what I envisioned in my head, it was almost like you was in my brain. You know, I was saying it needs more of this, it needs that, or something like that. And you were like, yeah, we can layer this vocal, or maybe don't have like a song. Let's just do something like growling and shouting. And I was like, yeah. And you know, we were referencing people like the Prodigy or Pendulum and stuff like that, or you came with the Chemist,
Yes.
you know, and it was just like all of these fucking musicians, and I was like, I was in a state of ecstasy throughout that whole recording process. I remember just like going back to my house, just buzzing, like absolutely buzzing, like, oh my god, yeah,
Bro,
it was sick.
Bro,
it was
put this way, when you asked me to do that, and I was right at the beginning of producing, and I would say right at the beginning, but it was, if I look at that then compared to what I know now, it's like, levels. But I made the most out of what we had, and I think that's what we were doing. Like, without, like, if we was in a proper studio and all that set up, obviously the quality would be better. But we only had the tools that we could use, and man, did you really give me that extra bit of like confidence in producing? Because I suppose I'd like to be tested to the limits. When you gave me this idea and this project, you know, I hadn't been given something like that. So I'm like, okay. And all you gave me was your vocals and your guitar. So it was like having this new canvas, like a blank canvas, to try to feel like, right, what are we going to turn this into? Now, judging by what you're saying, by all those, the Chemist, Prodigy, Pendulum, we were so influenced by that era of music, man. That period of music definitely came out through our music, right? And I think that's where we put that combination between me and you. We had that because I was people would want to know, I was a proper drum and bass head raver, going back then days. And anything heavy, let's go, squeeze out of you. I couldn't stop producing. And then obviously when Kizzy come back, go on, bro.
One of your catchphrases to me, you've got to squeeze it, squeeze it to blood clot, squeeze it to blood clot. We need to give them more, squeeze it to blood clot.
Oh, bro, you got a great memory, mate. I totally forgot that. Squeeze it to blood.
Can I just say something? Can I just say something?
Yeah, man.
When I came to you at that time, and I need to thank you for this, because when we came and agreed to do this project, you agreed to do it with me. I was in a place where confidence-wise, I was shocked. I had no belief in my vocals, no belief in my ability, just no belief in myself, really. I thought I was dead. And it took quite a lot to ask you to help me. So I was like, I'm going to waste this fucking time. It's going to be shit. And I was really, you know, and a few times I was like, oh, I can't, you know, I think you saw when it was time to get on the microphone and stuff, you saw my hesitance and stuff like that. And, like, you were so bloody cool then. You really it was almost like you babied me through that thing, like getting back onto it, and you helped me find my voice again. And I will forever be grateful to you for that, because I didn't realize that I needed not just to play music, but I just needed someone just to be like, to believe in me and to encourage me. And just, if I fucked up, no judgment, like, it's all right, mate, you know. And I think there was times where we didn't get the vocal done because I wasn't up to it, and you're like, come again, you know, come again, go again tomorrow.
Look,
and you,
bro. Look, you was
thank you.
All right, bro. That means absolute pleasure, and it kind of works both ways, whether I needed it or not. But I did need it. I didn't know I needed it, but that project and what it done for me and my path of production was massive, because I pushed the boundaries of what was possible. I managed to produce something in my bedroom that sounded live.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
And that was it.
Itself.
That was it. That was the
just
dream.
for everyone to know, like, we've done a video. It's on YouTube called "What Would Your Mother Say?" And when you look at that video, it's pretty much, that whole day was amazing. And I'm going to come back to that bit, but the production, and when I heard the music and it went with the video, I've never felt so. I've still watched this now, and I'm still so proud of how it all come together, bro. And so, like, I mean, just to see you from, like, what you just said then, to come from where you were, not feeling that confident, to, if anyone has watched this video, you want to talk to me about a guy that doesn't look confident. That's hilarious. That guy in the video, that front man, one take, guys. It's a one take video as well. So if anybody's watching it, I really appreciate the one take and how much movement our extras, actors had to go move around just to fill up this big space in our local, my local pub, which was in the area called Pinner, which we took over for the day. But man, bro, would you like talk about it, man? What was that day for you for filming?
Oh wow, you just brought back so many amazing memories because I think we were riding on a bit of a crest, weren't we? Because we did the song, BBC, like they picked it up and they were like, "This is really cool," and they said, "Look, do a radio edit, and then we'll push it," and that was cool. And we said we'll do a video, and like you said, it was like the planets aligned because I had a friend who did film editing. He's like, "Yeah, I'll do it for you," and then we had people come down. They're like, "Yeah, we'll dance," and people like, "Yeah, we'll come down and we'll just bring a vibe," and it was just like there was no real plan apart from like we'll get the camera and we'll just have a bit of a move through and like I had a friend who I was working with who was like doing film school directing. She's like, "Well, look, we can do it like this and like this," and like you said, all the logistics. You'll need to film your scene over here, then you're gonna run over there, and then you're gonna change your jacket and stuff. And like the day, like you said, it was just an absolute vibe. It was just such a wicked buzz and.
To share that with your friends. That's what I mean. Like, it's another one of those moments, right? We created that and we got to share with so many other people. We got to be in a video. You got Ollie in the video. You got my mate Driver, who I used to live with. You got your best mate in there.
Yeah, Pete's in there.
Yeah,
my nephew and my niece, God bless her, my niece, and like she passed away not long after. So I've got that immortalized, Yeah, she did. Not so long, but she's in the video and it was like it captures the moment. It captures the moment.
The ending was this. I think I was behind the camera and you just pulled me in because I was just having a beer. You pulled me in. I'm proud of how I was vibing there because I looked like a proper like, yeah, come on, do you know what I mean? How it ended and then the nice little message at the end. So this was for the messy crew, bro. That was poetic to me, of a moment where I didn't need it to go to like #1 MTV video. I didn't need it. I've got it. Do you know what I mean? In my head, that moment was probably one of my favorite music videos recorded because of who it was, what it was about, and the message we were given in the message we were given in there. Oh, bro, have you heard of an artist called Ren? REN? Have you heard of him?
Oh yeah.
And doesn't he use the pigs as well? So I was thinking he must have got that off us, bro. Right?
Hey, we were ahead of the time.
Bro, we were well ahead, right? So whoever's going to watch that video, we're not going to spoil it for you, but you understand by our little pig symbolism in there. You'll get it.
Yeah.
Right? It was even just recording that scene, and you know the scene I'm talking about, bro.
It's righteous. It's righteous.
Black lives, it's righteous. Ooh.
Oh, mate. Mate.
Bro, so many great memories. All right, so
I need to watch that again.
Definitely. I'll probably leave a link for that as well underneath this pod.
Yeah, do
for
it,
everyone
man.
to check out,
do it.
man.
Do
and
it.
then we had I'm trying to remember the name. So we had Rowdy, because this was part of the EP. What was the other one?
Yep.
So we had Rowdy. I'm trying to remember the other names of the other ones.
What would your mother say?
Yeah.
Rowdy and oh my good lord. I
remember this. We went. I'm trying to remember the name. I've got it all on here, mate. I've got it all on here. I'm gonna send it to you, bro.
You've got to send it to me.
Do you know what?
I want to show my wife now.
Yeah, bro. What happened was I found my old school hard drive, which I'd done all our tunes on, right? Like, so it's like the old Mac G5, right? So I've managed to connect it to the PC, and I've managed to grab all the files of what I recorded and bring it across, right, bro? And I went down memory lane, like some of the stuff I used to produce, and came across our tracks, and I couldn't believe it. You know when you think you might have lost something, and I've just found it again. So, bro, you're gonna have some nostalgia. This evening, you're getting some nostalgia, and I'll send it to you, bro. Because I've even got your vocals on their own. I've got them all divided, everything, mate. So guitar riffs, just you and your guitar, bro. It's happening. It's happening. So after that, where I'm trying to get along the timeline. So where did you go? Like, what happened after that? So did it get to a place where you made the decision? Because I'm thinking I was dating Alex then, because she was in the video. And I know a year or maybe 2 years after we broke up, and then I went to Antigua. So that was the whole period where me and yourself kind of went away, because obviously I went off to Antigua. So obviously you just had you got your family, you just started your family and all that. So there must have been a bit of a shock reality, because obviously you needed to work, and it's hard to explain it to everyone. It's hard to do both things, trying to chase the dream as well as the reality of making money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm being brutally honest with you, after that, I went through like quite a dark phase. I sort of, you know, having a kid, I thought, you know, it was the best thing in the world, but actually it was just a real shock to my system, because all of a sudden, like, I've got a kid who's relying on me to provide, and then I sort of had all these feelings of how do you describe it? You know, like not being enough. You know, I didn't own my own house. I was working a job that wasn't great. I was working in restaurants, stuff like that, and I just felt like I should have been doing a lot more. Like, how's I going to provide for this kid? How's I going to give him a good life and everything? And then I sort of started battling depression and anxiety, and I spent 2 or 3 years in like just a really bad place, you know. And then I was drinking a lot, and I was using drugs as well to try to make myself feel good at the moment, you know, and tried to forget all my problems. And yeah, I spiraled. I really did spiral, and it got to a point where, you know, my wife and I were not getting on. We got married in this period of time as well, and we just weren't getting along. We were fighting a lot, and she thought I just didn't care or give a shit, but because I was just hiding depression and and it all came to a point where it nearly came to a head, and I was about to lose it all. I had another kid as well at that time, and I had this sort of meltdown to her, just blurt it all out. I hate myself, I fucking die, and you know, I kind of hit rock bottom, and that was, I guess, something that I needed, because that was the first time I sort of said to her that I felt this way. And she went from sort of like looking at me like as a disgusting human who just didn't give a shit about her or the kids to like, oh shit, so you care, but you're just in a bad place. And started talking properly about it and everything like that. And, you know, that's when I started healing, and I started doing a lot of like self-reflection and like trying to understand why I felt these ways. And, you know, I did a lot of stuff that I didn't realize was affecting, like past traumas and stuff, you know, and it was affecting how I was as a dad and stuff like that. You know, I went and did like energy healing, you know, our friend Beth. And because I said to her, like, I don't know what's going on. I just feel like I'm stuck, and like I can't be the man I want to be or the dad that I want to be. And we did this sort of energy healing, and I went on this journey with her. It was like, it sounds bizarre when I say it out loud, but she made me realize things I didn't even realize, you know. Why was I so scared of being a dad? Why did I feel like I was going to be such a failure? And it was a lot to do with like abandonment issues. Like, my parents separated when I was younger, and I didn't realize that affected me as much as it did. And my dad was always like, you know, you got to be like, you know, you got to rise above it, you got to be like a good man, you got to do this. And I was like, one of the sessions, I was in this like hypnotic state, and I said to her, how can I be this man that you expect me to be when you didn't fucking show me how to do it? And I was just crying, and all this shit came up, and I was just like, holy fucking moly, like 40+ years, this has been, you know, I've been holding on to this, and didn't know it. And
Yeah.
once I let that go, that was like a massive thing. And then I started, feeling like I belonged again. Like I'd go to a restaurant with my wife and I'd sit there like cowering because I didn't want people to look at me because I felt like I didn't belong there. And I just went through this real phase. And then after acknowledging it and realizing that I was going through this, it was just like see a light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that was when I said to my wife, I don't want to be in England anymore. I want a fresh start with you and the kids.
Right.
I want us to be happy. I want us, and then COVID happened. And all of a sudden I was stuck in the house with 2 kids and my wife, who, we didn't even really know each other at that time because I was working shift work in restaurants and bars. She was up at the crack of dawn and working. So when, we'd be in bed together for a few hours and then she disappeared to work. And, we got to know each other again. We had a few months being stuck in a house together and we realized that we actually like each other still. We like each other. We really like each other, and we laughed and we joked and being around the kids. And I was like, let's get the fuck out of it. Let's go. And she didn't want to go back to Estonia. She's from Estonia. She didn't want to go to Estonia because she had a career and stuff. But COVID showed that we could work remotely and stuff, and we did it. And like I said, it's been the best decision that I think we ever made for our family, we ever made, because like I said, we talk, we laugh, we communicate, we go on dates, we we enjoy each other's company. We could do things that we could never do in England. Like we've got our own home now that I'm not renting from someone, it's ours, and we've got a rental property, and that's not to say it's like showing off, but it's like you can do things like that out here. You can actually do things. You don't need like 40 grand saved up put down. You can do it cheaply, and just a lot of that stress has been removed. The stress of England, that working so hard, always looking for those results. Have I got enough money to pay for rent? Can I buy the kids stuff? And is there any money to enjoy ourselves? And the answer was always no. No. And it's like a new lease of life out here, man. And I don't need to use alcohol and drugs to feel good. I can go and take a walk. There's nature everywhere. I walk my dog, or we'll go to like a spa session at the weekend. The spa culture is massive out here. You go, the whole family, the kids go swimming, they're in and out of the saunas. You'll sit down, like, relax with like a cocktail or something. Your wife goes for treatment, and it's all affordable. It's all affordable.
Right.
It's not like you go to a spa in England. It's like 50 euros per head. Then you got if you want to buy a drink, it's like 20 euros. It's like you need to remortgage to do something like that. Here, it's just a given. Go to the swimming pool. There's a spa. There's a sauna in there because it's just what people do. Everyone's got saunas or these ponds. They call them ponds in their back garden. They've dug out themselves. Do the hot or cold therapy, and like it's really cool, man. I feel a sort of sense of belonging and a sense of calm here. It's amazing. And then obviously now with the music, the DJing and stuff as well, it's just like it's so cool to get to have that outlet of doing something I love, playing music, not in the guys that I thought I'd do it in, but doing it anyway is amazing. And I've made some amazing connections. Like I host events and stuff, like parties, international parties. They get English speaking people. So I'm there like with the microphone. Hello everyone, welcome, like a game show host. And then the colleges get me involved. They do like international things. I moderate events. I do training for them, for the students, like building up their confidence and stuff. So it's just like life is unexpected, man.
Like you're exactly where you should be, bro. That's where it's all come towards. Yeah, you're exactly where you should be, and I can definitely mirror that feeling as well, because it's exactly where I should be. But I first of all want to say thanks for sharing that, like what you went through, man. I know it's not easy for anybody to go through what you do, what you've been through, and I appreciate you for sharing that. And it's funny because you went on to like Estonia and then COVID, and obviously we knew what it was like here, But what's it like for like the COVID experience out there?
It was completely different. I mean, and I don't say this to sort of, be disrespectful or insensitive to people that like lost people during COVID and stuff. So I know it was horrible for a lot of people, but for us, I always say COVID was one of the best things that ever happened to us as a family because, like I said, we were
Crazy,
forced
yeah.
to be together,
Yeah.
forced to sort of reevaluate what was important to us.
Yeah.
We saw that we liked each other, and we still loved each other, and we wanted to be together. And so it was amazing. So obviously, COVID was, I think it was March that it started. We were due to come to Estonia in May, but it got delayed, I think, until July. It came out in July. And we came out here, and where we were, it was it's a small village called Latra, which is in the middle of the countryside. It's like I said, a village of maybe 60 to 80 people. And COVID for us was joyful.
Yeah.
In a countryside, the house is next door to a lake.
Yeah.
So we had our bubble.
Hold on. What do you say next to a lake? Your house?
Next to a lake. Oh, yeah. It was like the family home. So literally you walk out, we had an old like Russian sauna type thing.
Yeah.
And then you walk around the front of the house and there's a lake there with a jetty and a man-made beach that they've built. And
wow.
So, COVID for us was sitting outside in the sun. My kids were like doing the allotment with their grandmother, growing vegetables. We were doing barbecues every day, music, partying, sunny.
Wow.
We were out in the fields doing motocross with Sunny. It was just it was a completely different experience to being in England, where queuing up to go to the shops and start, the 2 meter rule, and it was nice. You go to the local shops to get produce. We had like vegetables grown in the garden that we'd use, and it was.
Was the standard still all the same? Like masks, social distancing, all of that. That was universal, right?
If you went into the towns and cities, you had to have your masks and stuff like that, and the distances and all the hand sanitizers. But you go to you might do a weekly shop, and because again, it's it's a country of only 1.3 million. There's a lot of space, and there's a lot of space for you to be able to shop and not have to worry about it. And so you do your masks and whatnot in the shop, but it was easy. It wasn't like massive queues like miles long. Do you remember like in England when there was like queuing up like you're going to see the Rolling Stones in concert or something? Nah, bro, I just want to get some fucking eggs.
It was the most craziest time, man. It's like we're always going to be remembering the time when the world stopped, right?
Yeah.
And all this, I remember I was buying food and bringing it into the place and wiping it down, bro.
Yeah.
I was wiping stuff down, the hand sanitizer, the distancing, the awkwardness when you see somebody on the path. Do I go into the road? Are they going to move?
Yeah.
Dude, it actually happened. Like we were in that movie and it actually happened. Right? But you know what? I think you being out there obviously didn't get the whole major impact of it, right? From what I know, people which were just stuck, didn't do anything. They were stuck in a flat in the block and really felt claustrophobic. I came down to Brighton and everyone's out on the beach, maintaining the social distances, but everyone was just fine. It was outside, sitting by the sea, and I thought it was so good for your mental health to kind of not feel like you're inside like cabin fever, just for like going out, like being out and all that. So, bro, that was a crazy, crazy period. So now we've got through to that. We pretty much got up to the present now. I want to know, what does the future look like for you at the moment? You got any targets, any plans where you would like to take things?
My God,
obviously I know you got a family. So that's a plan itself. Do you know what I mean? But what about for yourself? What about for you? I want to know for something, because some things families are great, and they always can be they always can take your attention, but you always need that little bit or something where you could just go off and close the door, whether pick up the guitar again or get yourself
Yeah.
into mixing, DJing, practice more. Do you know what I mean? What would
Yeah.
you like to do?
Oh man, that's another really good question. Well, I mean, like, you know, I'm very blessed at the moment with like the
Mhm.
work that I do because it's not every day consistent. So I'm the primary care for my kids now. You know, pretty much
Mhm.
a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
Occasionally, I'll get a job where I've got to go away for 2 or 3 days, maybe to Latvia,
Yeah.
and you know, I'll host an event or I'll sort
Mhm.
of do like a couple of days of mentoring and stuff like that, or training sessions, which is great.
Right.
These parties, I'm loving doing those. And like I said, I'm sort of networking a bit more with like some people that are doing some really cool events and stuff. So I know that there'll be more DJ work coming.
Yeah.
Hence why I'm learning, studying. I've been doing some
Yeah.
mixes earlier on
Perfect.
Saturday, which has been really good.
I can't wait.
And like I
Can't
said,
wait to hear it.
that's completely unexpected, but I love that. I'm believe it or not, randomly, because I've been bored.
Mm.
I don't have loads of friends out here, but I've been doing like a TikTok thing, and it's called Shit at Estonian, and it's just basically me doing like Estonian challenges, like the Estonians sort of telling me, "Oh, try and say this, or try and pronounce that, or name this
Dude,
many things in Estonian."
send me that name. I'll go remember that. I'm definitely putting that down there on the thing. I need to follow that, man. Damn, bro.
Oh yeah,
Wicked.
but you know, it's but mostly I'm just trying to sort of stay present.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be grateful for everything that I've got. Be grateful that, you know, I'm happy, my family are happy and healthy.
Yeah.
Like, I've got a daughter now as well. Like, bloody hell,
Mhm.
that was unexpected. Well, I don't say
Okay.
unexpected, but
Yeah. This is big. I'll edit that. I'm joking.
yeah. But I mean, you know, I thought I was done with kids, but then another one rocked up, and she's amazing. You know,
Man,
and
she's a
seeing
cutie.
her and my boys
Absolute
together.
cutie. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Mm.
But you know, so that's sort of, I want to enjoy myself and do things where I'm not stressed out or not overly stressed. You know, overly taken away from my family. I don't want to be away from my family. I don't want that. But
Okay.
a bit of a fantasy that I'm sort of thinking is there's a chance to do some property development and stuff like that out here. So,
All right. Okay.
yeah, I heard from the grapevine, a friend of my wife's, they are looking at 120 grand, 120,000 euros. They can buy a plot of land and build 6 or 8 houses and sell them on for quite a decent price. And I was like,
right.
That's something to look into, mate, because, you know, I know
Being
people
smart.
that probably invest in that.
Yeah, being smart,
You know
invest
what I
in
mean?
that. Definitely.
So,
Definitely,
you know,
bro.
there's,
Okay.
yeah, so that's something
Sounds
that
good,
is,
though.
you're the first person I've actually said this out loud to. I've said to my wife that that's not a bad
Appreciate
idea, but
Yeah.
you know, I've been sort of tinkering in my head, how could I do
Yeah.
it? And so
Yeah.
possibility that that's something I'm going to look into a bit more seriously. But
Nice. And
but
what
other than that,
about
I just
your
like I said,
dead end dad?
dead end dad. Yeah, man. So
What's like? How is that going? Because I remember that was massive in the COVID period. So how's
yeah.
that? Is that still rolling? What's happening with that
Well,
at the
do
moment?
you know what? I feel like I've moved along because Dead End Dad, the whole sort of thing, that was like quite a healing thing for me. That with the
Yeah.
365 good, 24/7 great. It was all me sort of sharing my healing and giving other people inspiration to feel better about themselves and stuff like that. And actually, when I came out here, I was doing a lot of stuff in the schools and stuff like that, doing like, you know, fitness stuff like boxing, kickboxing, boxing classes and stuff, and mental health talks. And I was doing it for free just to give. And it was lovely. And again, it was like really rewarding for me. And also, it helped me to introduce myself to Estonia and the community. And, you know, loads of good things have come from that. But what I've realized is I was giving a lot of myself away. I was giving a lot of myself away. Giving. And I feel like selfishly now I'm in the sort of taking thing. I want to do be a bit more selfish, and
Right.
I want to do things for myself. And actually, I'm not just defined by, you know, mental health. You know, even
Yeah.
sort of like, you know, we did a Man Up Mental Health podcast, me and Andy Richardson, and you know, that's been slowing down a bit. And you know, we will continue it, but I've been really focused on actually what do I want, and I want to play music. I want to DJ because it's cool, and like that's a nice hobby for me to have. Like I said, I'm in the countryside. I don't have like friends and stuff around here that are sort of like, oh, let's go out. There's no pubs or anything, or so
no distractions to the dark side. So you're good.
Yeah, so just have something that I enjoy doing, and you know, people will ask me to come and do, and even pay me to do it. I'm like, yeah, you know. So yeah. I mean, I'm in a bit of a selfish phase at the moment of just doing things for fun, to enjoy, not that I'm trying to kind of teach the world about good mental health.
I think that's probably about right, because I wouldn't say you're selfish. It's just sometimes we can look at it because we might choose that word, but I think it's we're just putting ourselves first. And sometimes that's not being selfish. Sometimes it's like I know you and you know me, and we're a people's person. We give so much out to people that we do put ourselves second. And I think we've just decided, like, hang on a minute, we've given so much out. Let's give some back. And I think that's where I'm at today. And that's where yourself is at today. And look at us now, some wise old brothers compared to us back in our 20s, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, how much has changed, man. But bro, man, this has been, we got through it. We got through this podcast, bro. And even with the technical difficulties, he wasn't going to stop this. I'm going to look forward to editing and getting this back. But man, bro, so good to see you. So good to talk to you.
Mate.
Man, you're far away, but we definitely have to get out there, man. I need to see that place. Now you kind of made people feel familiar. Next, you know, they're gonna see a dread. That's who's gonna change it up, bro. They'll be still looking like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
But it's all good. It's all good. And look, I wanna obviously see the fam, see the wife, see the boys, see the new one as well, new addition, and the whole crew, man. But bro, it's been like epic, like little trip down memory lane. And obviously for me, man. I'm just saying, you guys, I'm just letting you guys know, like, me and him could go on. Like, this is short. We've got a lot, and there's a few. Like, I might do one called After Hours. All right, where only a select few, if I've got any patrons, they might get it. But otherwise, I ain't putting that out to the world. Yeah, some of the
don't make me expose myself. I've got a family now. Yeah,
bro, I don't want to as well. That's left in the past. But now, honestly, bro, big love to you and the family, and everyone. Just remember to like and subscribe. This is FREKS Knows Best, and yeah, Kizzy Black, aka Tommy, my brother. Until next time.
Love you, mate. Thank you so much for having me.
Honestly, really appreciate it, bro. Take care, yeah?
Anytime.
Bye-bye.